Hey folks, my name's Kevin and it's time for a little bit more knife nerdery. Today I have a first. It's a first to my channel, but it's also just a first for me. This is an unboxing of a knife that isn't mine. This is the first time in my life that someone has ever loaned me a knife to check out. And so big thanks to my friend Joe. I met him in the community and he sent me a knife along to check out because I wanted to be able to do a side-by-side comparison. And you'll see why in a moment. So let's see what we have in here. I'm going to use the Rockwall to open this up. And again, you might see why in a moment. Packaged this quite well, which makes sense. He wants to protect his knife. Yeah. That's right. This is a Quiet Carry IQ. It's interesting to me, and I'm glad that he sent along the original packaging, because this is different from the packaging of the Waypoint and the Drift that I own. Those both came in like a magnetic front case. But let's see what's inside. Oh, yeah. Check it out. Okay, the whole reason I wanted to try this knife, well, first of all, I've been interested in this knife since I first learned about quiet carry, but I wanted to be able to compare both the Waypoint, I guess, honestly, I'd also like to compare it to the Drift, but I'm a huge quiet carry fan. Bryce, if you're watching, love your stuff. But I also wanted to be able to compare it to that Rockwall that I had, because in my mind, both size-wise and general aesthetics, the Rockwall is kind of right between these two. So, getting to experience my first ever flipper knife from Quiet Carry, both the ones that I have are thumb studs, that's going to be exciting. And then also just getting to look at some of the design details here, because this is one of their older designs. Quiet Carry has gone through a whole bunch of growth, both as just the size of a company, but also kind of like as a designer, there's been a very strong continuity. Bryce is a designer that has like a real clear aesthetic vision for his knives. But you can see as he's going along that the actual like mechanics of the knives have changed in a way that shows growth as a knife designer. And so it's neat getting to see something that he made a while ago. I don't know exactly when this was made because I don't know exactly what version this is of it. But you can see that he has some really clever things going on already. So right off the bat, one of the things that sets this Rockwall off, apart from a lot of other knives, the fact that it has an over-the-top style internal attachment clip that makes it super deep. And you can see over here on the IQ, we've got a similar thing going on. This is a milled titanium deep carry clip. That is so freaking cool, because who does that? Very, very milled tie clips are anywhere close to deep carry, let alone a true, legit deep carry clip. This is very, very innovative and cool that he did this. What else do we got going on? Internal leaf spring cut out there. Honestly, I just gotta feel the flick. Ooh, that's pretty nice. This is really interesting right here. These are scalloped out in a way that doesn't look like any of his other knives that I've held. Where did I put my Drift? Yeah, so on neither of these knives do we have any kind of meaningful scallop in terms of lock bar access. On both of them, though, we've got a slight chamfer right along that edge to make it more comfortable to put your thumb on. But this, on the IQ, has like these really deep pockets here. It kind of looks like the type of thing that people do when they give you a landing pad. It almost looks like a landing pad for your finger. But how does it work in terms of access? Ooh, yeah, that makes it very easy to push it over. Ooh, that's also really interesting. So both of these knives, the Waypoint and the Drift, are on phosphor bronze washers and have that kind of really smooth but tight, controlled feeling as they close. I don't actually know what this is running on, but as a flipper, it feels like bearings. It looks like bearings. I think it's on bearings. And as a result, this is my first time experiencing a quiet carry that kind of fall shutty. It's definitely like a gentle shake shut, but this is such a freaking thin blade that, of course, oof. This is one of the versions in 20CV. I know it's also come in LMAX. I don't really know when they staggered that, because I saw on this website that the new version coming out soon is also going to be in LMAX, which means either he's going back to LMAX or maybe he started in 20CV and then I don't know what order it came in. But there's so many different little things that I should probably hold off doing too much of a side-by-side comparison until I actually have the time to look at these all super up close. But if you take the size and then you take the slight angularity here and the slight roundness here, and you take the swedge in the top here and the swedge in the top there and the general blade profile here and there, and you combine them all together, it feels to me like these three knives are kind of, I don't know, just like a blend. This feels like you smashed these two together and took design elements from each and pushed them in different directions. This flipper tab is very minimal. And as a result, you don't get a lot of leverage. I get a good snappy open, but it doesn't feel like a particular, yeah, I thought I'd be able to do that. Yes, it does. It is the kind that you can fail. It's really interesting also seeing the evolution of the stonewash finish. On camera, these might look the same, but in person, this has more of a polished quality to it, is less matte, and the feel is different too. This has a distinct kind of texturing to it. The stonewash on this, it gives you grip more than it does on this one. It's not bad, but this definitely feels smoother and softer. How's this feel in hand? Because it's definitely a small knife. Pretty good, but I will say it's not, both of these knives have distinct scallops and cutouts and finger grooves in a way that makes it really feel natural and intuitive in your hand. And I knew it wasn't going to because of the mere fact that this is very intentionally straight lines. He's not breaking up those lines for anything. But I will say that not having some kind of finger groove here means that this doesn't feel as immediately at home and natural in my hand. It doesn't feel bad at all. It feels pretty good, but it's just a very neutral thing. It's not like it's designed to fit into my hand in any specific grip. Ooh. This is cool. This is really cool. I'm really excited to try this out. I'm going to break all of these knives down. I'll probably skip this one and that one because I'll just do a side by side by side. But I'm going to break all three of these knives down and take a very close look and show you guys how they're designed, how they're built, you know, what is the mechanics of what's happening inside these knives, and then give you a sense of, you know, maybe which one you would want to go for. Because these three knives, I think all are going to be targeted towards the same person. And that person, obviously, honestly, that person's me. These are all three knives that very strongly appeal to someone like me that likes clean aesthetic, clean design, minimalist, and at the end of the day, super, super thin, light, easily carryable knives. These are all knives designed for slipping right in your pocket and not thinking twice about it. And so if you are someone like me that likes this aesthetic and also wants a thin, light, slicey EDC carry, hopefully seeing a side-by-side will help you get a sense of which one's right for you. Okay, probably gonna cut it off here. Hope you like this. Stay tuned for when we compare them all. Have a nice day.